Hajime Kashimo, my favorite character in the Culling games. An ancient sorcerer who transcended 400 years for one purpose: to find Sukuna and rock his world. And when these two finally scrap, it has the potential to be one of the best fights in all of Jujutsu Kaisen. If you liked Kashimo versus Hikari, Kashimo versus Sukuna is going to be insane. While Sukuna may be unbelievably evil, Kashimo has an unfortunate case of severe orc brain. He sees Hikari try to jump him, and instead of being alarmed, he thinks, "Don't get me too excited." This guy is straight out of Kung Fu Panda. Of the ancient sorcerers we've seen, Kashimo is probably one of the strongest. This guy doesn't even use his special technique and keeps up with someone like Hikari. It is hard to not love a character like Kashimo who just lives to fight. I just think this is going to be such a great interaction, because we've had so many characters be afraid of Sukuna's return or talk about him like he's such a problem. But then there's just this one crazy dude that's aimlessly walking around from opponent to opponent trying to find out where Sukuna might be. And the best part is, I think Sukuna is going to love this guy. Like, more than anyone else in the series, I think Kashimo kind of follows Sukuna's ideology a bit, because Sukuna puts such an emphasis on being strong in your life. And so does Kashimo, and Kashimo thinks it's so important that he transcended time to find this guy. And while we know that Sukuna trash talks his opponents and downplays them the whole fight, in Kashimo's case, this will just make him more hyped to fight this guy. I don't know if Sukuna has ever fought somebody quite as crazy as Kashimo before. And an interesting parallel between these two characters is that they both get hyped when they see something interesting after getting reincarnated. Now, while Kashimo may obviously be significantly weaker than Sukuna, even at 15 fingers, him having a secret one-time use technique should buy him at least 10 minutes of anime time, because this thing is like guaranteed to be a one-time nuke. In Kashimo's fight with Hikari, he never used his actual curse technique, just the cursed energy special properties he has. People sleep on Kashimo a little too much. He is very strong, and a lot stronger than he showed in his fight with Hikari. It's very likely that Kashimo has a domain expansion. This guy wouldn't travel like 400 years to fight the strongest sorcerer if he wasn't even at the pinnacle of Jujutsu. As for why he never used a domain expansion against Hikari, domain expansions are usually tied to your curse technique, and he can only use his curse technique once, so I don't see why he'd use it if there was no benefit from it. Because unless it has an innate domain effect similar to Joko's volcano, it's just a waste of cursed energy for him. Now, do I think Kashimo is going to be overall comparable to Sukuna? Absolutely not. But him having a one-time use curse technique sounds like an extremely high attack potency and a binding vow. Kashimo is really set up to just be the perfect jobber for Sukuna. I really expect we're going to see him have like a Might Guy scenario from Naruto. And unlike a character like Gojo, who's literally untouchable, the way Sukuna talks during fights, it sounds like he's always hoping his opponent's curse technique will impress him. This is probably one of the fastest curse techniques in the entire series, if not the fastest curse technique as like a single fire ability. I mean, it's cool to see a character like Gojo just like Goomba Mario jump on people's heads, but true scrappings is what Shonen's all about. And that's what made Kashimo's first fight so awesome with Hikari. I think that's probably the best fight in the series. If it's not the best fight, it's definitely top 3. I like the serious fights in this series, but these two fight like they're playing Mortal Kombat. These guys almost die on multiple occasions. This guy gets shot right through the brain, and they just act like, "Man, that was a close one, you bastard." And of course Kashimo doesn't scale directly to Sukuna, but considering his whole plotline revolves around fighting Sukuna, it makes too much sense. And Kashimo honestly kind of likes Hikari, and there's probably going to be a moment where Sukuna is about to murder some of our protagonists, and Kashimo will step up like the old man he is. Kashimo even seems sad at the fact he couldn't find Sukuna, and this is an arc that's left unresolved. I'd be pretty surprised if they don't run into each other eventually. Even though Sukuna will definitely kill him, considering we have more development around Kashimo than pretty much any other ancient sorcerer outside of like Sukuna himself, his final outing is pretty much primed to be entertaining. But what do you guys think about Kashimo versus Sukuna? Do you think Kashimo's technique is going to be powerful, or do you think he's going to get bodied instantly? Let me know in the comments below, and if you like videos like this, subscribe for more. And as always, thanks for watching.